All right, this is part 2 of maybe just 2 parts. We might go 3, but we just finished part 1. So if you are seeing this for the first time, just hit pause here and kindly go back to part 1, which we just completed and should have just downloaded, and watch that. And this is going to be a continuation of the last video. So in the last video, we were kind of messing around a little bit, having a little bit of fun, and we started getting into viewer comments. I think we got through maybe 1 or 2.
We got through 1, and I didn't even read what other people added to it.
So this part, we basically anticipated would be all viewer comments. Again, we want everybody to have a voice. Again, we do this for you. We would want our voice heard as well. So Carla's going to read these comments. It may get long, and we'll try to do it expeditiously. And we're going to jump right in. Carla, you ready?
Well, I would just give a brief summary. AJ had explained why... AJ Malfoy had explained why he didn't like Roger Federer. I read that on the first part. So Wayne Chia jumps in and says that he feels the same. I feel Fed is rather arrogant at times. I wanted to watch someone beat Fed, and that was how I started to support Rafa. As time went on, I like Rafa for what he is. And then Rahesh says, AJ Malfoy, well said. Wayne and Chian, Fed arrogant most of the times. 5K tennis, GOAT will be redefined by Novak, Carla. Anyways, good topic discussion. And then Rahesh says, Carla is alright, but he has shown him his displeasure when Rafa came and Novak and the whole world knows, but the media always shows him as the babyface.
What was a good topic discussion?
About when AJ says why he hates Rafa.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
mean, Rafa,
yeah,
Roger.
Okay, good, okay, I got you.
And then Wayne Chia says, ha ha ha. Thanks, I was trying to be subtle. So I guess AJ Malfoy said it the best.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Totally.
Next comment comes from a new viewer.
Who's the new viewer?
Summon256.
Summon256?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. New viewer, 256.
He or she says, talking about women, Halep and Kerber for me. Either of the 2 winning Grand Slam put a smile on my face.
All right, so Summon256. Summon256.
Where are you from? I'd like to know.
Yeah, okay, so where are you from, number 1? And number 2, we have Kerber and Halep would bring a smile to your face.
Good players.
Good picks. I don't think either wins the U.S. Open this year.
I don't either.
I don't think either wins the U.S. Open.
I think we'll be surprised this year.
This year is going to be something new.
Yes, I agree with you.
Halep, I like her a lot. The other one, Kerber, I like her a lot.
No, I think they both each won their slam that they needed this year. I think we'll see somebody new.
Welcome, Summon256.
Welcome.
Let's go.
Next comment, Wayne Chia says, do you think Djokovic currently being at 85-88% is a physical thing, stamina and strength? And if so, will he get back to 100%? That's his question.
What?
You weren't paying attention?
I was reading that.
Wayne Chia says, do you think Djokovic currently being at 85-88% is a physical thing, stamina and strength? And if so, will he get back to 100%?
I like this question. From me, if I'm a hardcore coach and I'm looking at Djokovic, I'm saying his whole package is 85%. I've seen him bigger. I've seen him stronger. I've seen him faster. I've seen him when a man, I won't even say a man, when someone gets fired up on a tennis court and they have every bit of energy running through their body and they're just keyed up and everything's swinging freely. They're swinging freely, but their whole upper torso and legs are just completely just toned in. And I saw flashes from this in Djokovic the past couple of months. But 2015, 2011, you saw it every match. I don't think he's been tested very hard.
I think he can get to 100%. Sure. Yeah, I do think he will get there.
Yeah.
I think US Open will be the one where he'll bring his 100% game.
Mihailo Popov said it best yesterday. Djokovic at 100%. Oh no. You know what I mean? He will definitely get there, barring any type of setback or injury or other personal life ventures. 100% is a given. Yeah. It's a given. And then watch out.
Well, then Rahesh says, sure he can, as long as his passion to win is back and he can be back at 100%, and even better, he has everything in him. And AJ Malfoy responds to that comment that Wayne Chia said, he doesn't need to get back to 100% and win slam. There's barely any competition. 90% of Novak is probably good enough.
I agree. 90. Look, we just saw that 85% or 88% of Novak was good enough to beat Federer on a brutal, ugly display. But look who he beat before he met him anyway. 85% is enough. It's enough. He'll be fine. Djokovic will be fine at the U.S.
Let's
Open.
go Wawa. AJ Malfoy says, Novak and Roger more complete and all-around players than Nadal. And Rajesh says, true. And out of these three, the only one who can play the same in all surfaces is Novak, and that's why he's great. I agree with this comment. They both have better games than Nadal. Nadal has a weak backhand and a serve, which is why people pick on his backhand all the time.
Agree.
And Novak can't play in all surfaces. Very true.
Yeah, I can't.
Except that he's got Nadal at the French Open, which he dominates. So that's why he only has one.
But wait a minute. But Djokovic beat Nadal in Madrid and in Barcelona.
That's Madrid. That's 2 out of 3 sets. It's not the same as 3 out of 5 sets. He hasn't done it at the French Open.
Djokovic won 6 finals against Nadal in 2011.
Is it on clay?
Like 3 of them.
Has he beat him at the French Open?
Djokovic?
He has not.
Who did Djokovic beat in the final?
Nadal withdrew in the 3rd round.
So he beat Berdych or somebody? Who did he beat? Djokovic beat who in the final of the French Open?
I don't remember.
I can't recall. All right, moving forward.
I know Roger beat Soderling, which was in a big deal. Next comment. Wenim Chia says, Justin, Lisicki, seriously, had you not repeatedly brought up her name, I would have thought that she had retired and married with 12 kids.
Look, I wrote this up in the first one because Carla woke me up and she was like, Justin, Lisicki's made it to the qualifying. I'm like, all right, well, she's going to win the U.S. Open.
That's funny, right?
So I write it down, like I'm going to mention it later. I'm like, come on, Lisicki, let's go. And she plays like Gavordasova or something and then loses like 7-5, 6-4 or something.
Her time passed her by. She should have beat Bartoli.
She's a strong girl, though.
She is strong, and I love her, but she should have beat Bartoli.
She came off an injury. Give her some slack.
She's done. She's almost 30, babe.
She's 27.
Okay.
I looked it up.
Time's passing by, and there's other juniors coming out. So just saying.
All right, so my Lisicki hopes are done, so I'll retire Lisicki from the rest of the season.
Yeah.
All right.
Rajesh says, good to see you guys outside as usual. And then we got a comment from The Look, which we haven't heard in a little while.
The Look fried me the other day.
Hi again. I hope Justin's doing better. I like your energy, guys. Very entertaining. As a Novak fan, I must say I'm very happy about the Gold Masters. Nobody achieved something like this before, and I tell you why Federer has no chance against him in the final. Just after the U.S. Open final 2015, Villander says that Federer always gets nervous when he has to play Novak. He didn't lose his serve the whole tournament, and the first game Novak already had break points. Call me crazy, but Novak's the real reason Federer won slams in 17 and 18. A healthy Novak wouldn't allow Federer winning slams. The last time they met was 2016 Australian Open, and Novak beat him hardly. Remember, Novak is his problem, not his age. I can agree with that. He has a very tough time against Novak. Just like he had a tough time with Rafa, but somehow he figured it out.
No, Djokovic is intimidating.
He is, because he's willing to fight every point.
He's intimidating.
And he looks at you like he wants to kick your butt.
He can easily access your mentality if even if you're the best of the best. And
he's not intimidated by anybody.
He's not intimidated.
The only person that I see him shaking up a bit is Wawrinka. Let's go, Wawrinka.
Let's go, Wawa.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to keep saying that because you guys can't say anything bad about Wawrinka.
We got a storm coming behind us. I like both players equally. Wawrinka and Djokovic. Let's go both guys. I hope you guys.
I like Wawrinka a little better.
I hope Djokovic and Wawrinka both have great U.S. Opens.
Next comment was by you. I was at the U.S. Open 2007. I was lucky enough to see Roger play a young Djokovic. Federer won 7-6, 7-6, 7-5, I think. Shortly after, Djokovic grew up. And then The Look says, lucky you. Novak was 20 and he had 4 SP in the first. What is SP?
What? Set points.
Set points in the first and the 2 in the second set. But a couple months later, he beat Federer at the Australian Open in 3 sets.
Good memories, good memories. It seems like just yesterday.
The Look makes another comment. It says, Novak 2015 was even better. 3 slams only. Lost to Wawrinka at the final World Tour Finals. 6 Master 1000s. 11 tournaments won. Made 15 finals, and the most scary thing is that he was 31-5 versus top 10. Only to mention some of the stats. Let's go.
That's big time stuff.
He whooped your butt there.
Yeah, he got me. Look, that's where I got drilled.
You got drilled.
And just to reiterate, in the first video I mentioned that you have to be careful what you say here or what we say here, because there are some really spot-on tennis gurus that will just call you out professionally, respectively, but they'll let you know in a hurry. So I mentioned that Djokovic's best season ever was 2011, and within 5 minutes there was like, nah, it was 15. 15. I even had Kiyosama, female, come in and be like, no, I mentioned this 2 weeks ago.
Well, she says, oh, sweet, I mentioned this on the other video about his 2015 season.
I got drilled.
Definitely better than 2011. Let's just say in 11, he finally showed the world he was a truly capable of unleashing the beast within.
My bad. My apologies. Lo siento.
You should have done better research.
Should have done better research. My footwork was slacking.
Well, then AJ Malfoy says, is it just me or Novak's throwing love celebrations super cringy? Like, I love him, but I turn off the channel when he does it.
That was synchronized. Can we do that synchronized? Let's go one left, one right. Ready? One left, one straight, one right. Ready? Here we go. Now straight. Now we go right.
Yeah, that doesn't fit him.
I'm out.
That does not fit him.
I felt cheesy just doing that.
Like, I love him, but I turn off the channel when he does that. It makes me feel awkward. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I wish he wouldn't do that, especially to the snotty Wimbledon crowd. I wish he would just roar instead, like in the past. Like, rip off his shirt, go.
I would rather.
Remember he used to do that?
I would rather see Usually bust his face with his tennis racket.
Yeah, I hate when he... It's like watching Venus go. I'm like, what, are you in a beauty pageant?
Hey, what about Usually, though? When Usually won, he'd be like... Love that guy. I love that guy.
Well, then Kia says, it is super cringy, laugh out loud. But hey, I don't think Novak gives a hoot. It's more for the fans, and it's nosebleed seats. His true fans that don't get the fancy seats gotta show some love to them. And then Rajesh says, agree, but AJ Malfoy, when the crowd gets to him, he comes back powerful. Remember those 2 returns in the 2010 US Open? That turned the match, and Novak went on to win. And AJ says, oh yeah, I'm ready for the wild US crowd this year, forcing Novak to produce his best tennis. If he wins this US Open, this has to be the one of the best comebacks ever. In April/May, some were saying he was finished, should retire. And I myself shamefully began to question it, if he could ever get back. But wow, this is more than I could have asked for. I thought we would start winning slams in 2019, but the Wimbledon came unexpectedly. And now I think in 2019 he will be going for the #1 ranking. What a turnaround. Agree with him in a bit, but Roger, they said the same thing about him, that he was done. And how many slams did he win, guys?
Like 3 or 4.
4! So that to me is the best comeback. And he's older. Sorry.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Time will tell, but everybody counted Federer out, and I'm not a big fan. They counted him out, and he came back and won 4 Grand Slams.
This is factual, but time will tell. I'm thinking big things.
Just saying.
I'm thinking big.
Gotta
big
give
things.
credit to the big man there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. Argue that.
Rajesh says, I love Lopez and his game too.
I like Feliciano Lopez too. We had mentioned who are some unseeded players that could
Lopez is good, but
do damage to the U.S. Open. Feliciano has a great game.
Yeah. Well, Rajesh says, we did talk about women's tennis a few weeks ago. I guess that's when we talked about Celis. I did mention Kerber, Serena, and I always loved Sharapova. Vika was never consistent. Glad you remember our ban on Grunt, ha ha ha, and glad you guys mentioned about me finding you guys on Facebook. And Carla, thanks for mentioning about my photos. Also Lena, he also liked Lena.
This message for me was really good. Number one, Lena for me is
I love watching her.
Well, I'm not as odd as this may sound to somebody. I know she doesn't have a couple majors. I think
she has
2,
3.
She is one of my favorite all-time players.
I love her game.
She
was feisty. She fought.
I like Lena a lot, and I hope she's doing well.
She is. She's got a baby now on the way.
Good for her.
And she fought against her federation. China was taking a lot of money away from her, and she left that.
At the beginning, will you read that first part again?
We did talk about women's tennis.
Yes, thank you. So first of all, foremost, yesterday I mentioned that we haven't talked much about women's tennis, and I owe a complete apology to Rajesh. Complete 100% apology. Well, he's right.
Yeah, we did, but what I think we were trying to say, and what I meant to say was everybody fights for Novak, Federer, and Nadal, but we don't hear the top 3 women. We've never heard this.
That's not where I'm going with this.
Okay.
That's not where I'm going. I mentioned yesterday that we need to talk about women's tennis. However, if we go back maybe 2 months, Rajesh and I were talking about Wimbledon.
I remember that, yes.
And that's my fault. So I will definitely say that Rajesh was talking about women's tennis a while ago, and I brought it up like we need to talk about like we haven't before, and Rajesh brought it a while ago.
Isn't it sad though that we don't have top 3 to talk about in women's tennis?
Yes and no. I mean,
it's sad. I mean, we got Roger Federer, we got Roger, Nadal, and Djokovic. We can't do the same for women.
But isn't it a different dynamic? It's a different game.
It's like Serena's here before she had a baby, and the rest were here. No. So, just saying.
Anyway, Rajesh, great stuff. And the last part of his message was,
glad you remember our ban of grunting.
So, yes. This is the last thing. Rajesh banned me from talking about grunting because it's so inherent in the women's game. So I won't talk about that. But if there's something that we want to like squash as a topic or squash something, just mention it. We'll squash it. Rajesh is the number one at squashing my grunting topic. Right?
Yes.
So squash it if you don't like it.
Yes.
Bring it out. We're done.
And Rajesh meant many more comments. And here's another one. We are not Federer haters, but he doesn't respect either Nadal or Novak just because they stopped him. But the Sampras and others should have hated Fed when he came to the scene. But look at their interviews. As always, he thinks big of himself and kind of assume he is a brand. He gets what he wants. For instance, how many times he played day matches in the Australian Open? Never, or very minimal. His matches will be night matches. Novak won more Australian Opens, but he never asks or always puts on day matches, various courts, etc. Even when he was number one, let's not say 20 slams. More records have been created by Nadal and Novak, including all 5, including the World Tour Finals the same year, and now 9 Masters.
Incredible.
Well, I've never paid attention to that. Never. Like who's playing day or night.
It's important though.
I've never, but they do. I mean, Novak has won more Australian Opens than Federer, so he should get the better treatment.
I would think so.
In my opinion.
I would think so.
Yeah.
It's like the king of the tournament.
Yeah, it's like if Nadal snapping his fingers at clay. He's the king of clay. Should get what he wants. Just like Federer snapping his fingers at Wimbledon.
Agree totally.
Should get what he wants.
Totally agree.
Djokovic should be the same for Australian Open.
Yeah, he's the king of the tournament.
Yep.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'd give it to him.
Exactly.
It seems like
Why wouldn't you?
It seems like the moral thing to do.
Right.
I mean, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Exactly.
Move forward.
Rajesh says, you guys are forgetting if he can beat Nadal a month ago, now after winning Cincy and many matches, Novak is way better, maybe 85%, and he could beat Nadal.
Yep.
Rajesh says, sponsors can be anyone, but it's Fed's choice, right? Ultimately, it would be his choice, but Novak and Kia are Uniqlo, and maybe Fed wanted to be in the same.
He's talking about
Novak's,
Nishikori.
but not sure. Yes, I got that. Yeah, I saw Novak and Nishikori. They were wearing Uniqlo. I wonder why they left. My mouth's getting dry.
There's a lot of writing here.
Furzy 09.
Where are we at on the list? You got a whole lot?
Furzy and then...
Oh, you're going to be reading for a while. All right, let's go. Come on, let's roll.
Furzy 09 says, follow mostly women's tennis besides Fed, Nad, Djokovic. Men's tennis is too fast. Less time to think. Boring. But women's is more mentally strategy. However, post-Henin, I'm disappointed with the skill level. Feel of the ball variety, Halep could have been the next Henin, but Cahill has added zero feel. Slice variety to her game, he made her a pure grinder, and that cost her many titles. Wow, Furzy, I like that. You are right, after Henning left, every woman pretty much plays the same, minus Serena. My God, what a great comment. I love watching Henning because she could slice, she could approach, she can hit hard. She knew how to change the pace and confuse players. And we have not seen that from a female tennis player.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to watch Henin play Kuznetsova in the U.S. Open final, and it was a beautiful display. It really was.
I love her.
It was a beautiful display. I love her too. I mean, great comment.
I wish she wouldn't have retired so young.
Too bad. There was a big chapter, or a lot more chapters to be written in her career.
If I had the money, I would send my daughter to go train in her academy.
Oh man, let's go, Justine.
Rajesh says, as a tennis fan, I love many players, and including Federer, Nadal, Novak, Agassi, and many more. But all of a sudden, media spread venom against Novak because they don't want to lose Fed's contract, and that's how they all started. Really, if you love tennis, there shouldn't be hate, but that's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we go to Kia Sama.
Let's go, Kia.
Protects Carla, so you're protecting me.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got your back. You two crack me up with your 2 arguments. It's great. But I'm side-eyed you with the Aussie Open comment, Carla. It doesn't mean much.
What's that?
In that case, the French Open is complete BS because Nadal wins it so much. There, I've said it. By the way, Novak has 6 Australians, 1 French, 4 Wimbledons, 2 US Open. And how would you rank his 2015 season to 2011? Many think 2015 was even better. And because I'm too lazy to go back to the other video to post, my favorite female player is Serena, followed by Kerber. It's a shame I can't get to watch a lot of WTA matches because I'd be more qualified to give my thoughts on the current crop of new female players. If we were going old school, I did enjoy Hingis, and yes, my favorite, Justin Lisicki. That was her favorite. Oh, and Mary Pierce was awesome too.
I like Mary Pierce too.
I am so sorry, Kia Rahesh, to the other. I didn't mean to say that the Australian Open was crap.
She was just fired up, like shooting.
I was just fired up. I was shooting from the hip. All the tournaments are important. You're right. If I'm saying that the Australian Open is not important, then I should be saying the same thing for the French. What I meant to say was, if I wanted to hold a record, if I wanted to be considered the best, I would like for my Grand Slams to be distributed pretty much even, which Roger Federer has.
The moral of the story is she was fired up, didn't know what she was talking about, and just threw out.
I'm sorry. In the 70s and the 80s,
oh,
the Australian. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't finish. The 70s and the 80s, the Australian Open didn't matter, in my opinion, but it matters now.
Okay, whoa. You were like 1 year old in the 70s.
Justin, you said the same thing.
Well,
you said the same thing. We can go back to 6, 7, 8 videos.
Look, was it a huge deal when Johan?
You said it didn't matter when Agassi won it because nobody played the Australian Open.
Agassi. I was talking about Johan Crete.
No, we were talking about Agassi. You said I never liked him. It didn't matter that he won it because nobody showed up to that tournament.
You hear this thing?
Just because he don't like Agassi.
Do you hear this thing? See, this is a creature. This is creature.
I'm just saying, on my apologies, the Australian does count. It is a hardcore tournament. It is tough to win. It is hot.
No.
It is the most modern Grand Slam.
Okay, well,
so kudos to Djokovic.
Can I finally say something with that interjection?
Yes.
Please, can you like put?
But Wimbledon is better than the U.S. Open. Sorry.
Just chill for a second.
Yeah.
Settle down.
I am.
You promise you to keep your mouth shut? Okay. She came out of the box yesterday talking about, Djokovic has 8. No. She says she's trying to say that it's a big deal if someone has a lot. Oh yeah, she was saying Djokovic has 8 Australians, so that's 6. So that's the meat of his Grand Slams, and therefore it can't be accounted for. Not realizing that Federer's got 8 Wimbledons and Nadal has 11
I
French
did realize that. I didn't mean to say that way.
So that's what I call you chopped your own foot off. What was that?
I don't know.
That's called a return of serve when you're like breaking for the match and you like hit it over the fence.
Well, Rahesh says Kia spot on about U.S. Open. Australian Open. Definitely didn't expect that from Carla. Everyone cares about the Grand Slam. Australian Open's even better to watch in Wimbledon, in my opinion, just because it's part of the Royal. It's been hyped so much.
Except you got to wake up really early to watch it.
Most Americans don't watch it because just of the time.
Yeah, it comes on at like 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning, and then by the time you get up, your phone,
it's tough to watch,
phone, or you've already heard it on the news, so you don't want to watch it because you already know the score.
It's tough to watch. Yeah.
It's tough. It's logistically tough.
It's just tough. Yeah. Stimpy Boy says 5K tennis. Disagree. Number of Grand Slams won isn't everything in tennis. There are Masters 1000s that Nadal has more than Federer, 4 more, and that number will rise in the future. That will be a huge margin. Something to think about, Carla. Also about Nadal, Federer and Novak have a Davis Cup 1, I think, and 3 have an Olympic medal. By the way, there's another Olympic tournament coming behind the corner, and there's another chance for gold medal. I'm trying to hit. And also, if Nolan wins Cincinnati Masters one more time, he would have done double Golden Masters, winning all the 1,000 tournaments at least twice. What an achievement that would be. Also, if he wins RG next year, he would win every single tournament. Roland Garros. Let me laugh at that one. He's not winning Roland Garros. He's not unless Nadal is not playing it. Sorry.
It's a good point.
He would win every single tournament in the game at least twice. That's a GOAT. Stuff right there. Don't you agree? And finally, Nole has a better H2H with both of the greats. Nadal and Federer are the only player who won against Federer 24 times.
H2H, head to head.
Until now, of course. And I'm sure a lot more victories upcoming. By the way, thank you for being such a tennis preacher. It's really nice to see.
Let's go.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have strongly disagree with you. Some players don't play all the Masters tournaments. That does not matter. Sampras never cared about records. Some players don't care about records. Roger Federer is getting older. He's playing less tournaments. To me, the Grand Slams are the most important tournaments. The biggest draws, every player plays it. It's the toughest 2 weeks to go through. Masters are 1 week. Grand Slams are 2 weeks. To me, the GOAT is who has the most Grand Slams. And I think almost everybody sees it that way. I don't care about records, how many Masters you won, or Olympics. Are we serious, guys? Tennis players caring about a gold medal in Olympics? This is not gymnastics. This is not swimming. This is not volleyball. Tennis players don't care about the Olympics. They just have to play. And the ATP finals, that's a joke tournament too. In my opinion, there's only 10 players that make it. I'm just saying, the GOAT is who wins the most. Michael Jordan in basketball. Tom Brady in football.
I guess for myself, I'm gonna divulge deep into this, and this is something that I already have a segment completely written on right here. So I have I'm just basically looking at notes that says Carla's reading until I get to this point. Finish that comment, and that comment. Who is that comment from?
AJ. I'm Stimpy Boy. Sorry.
Stimpy Boy. Stimpy. Much love to you, bro. I have a whole segment written on that comment. I read it earlier. I wrote something about it. I'm coming for that. I'm coming. Let's go. Next comment is coming up, Stimpy. I swear.
Rahesh says, what kind of comment is that? Who cares about the Australian Open? It's the best tournament, the Great Hard Court. If Fed wins another Australian Open, what would you say, Carla? 21 slams? Will you remove it? All his Australian Opens from the list? Yes, Wimbledon is big, but doesn't it mean Australian Open is not a slam? And let me remind you, Novak has 4 Wimbledons already. At 30, he could win a few more. A Grand Slam is a Grand Slam. I totally agree with you. I've said before, I made a mistake. A Grand Slam is a Grand Slam. You guys are 100% correct. My mistake.
She got drilled. She got served breakfast.
And then Stimpy Boy says he don't need 20 to be the GOAT. Yes, he does.
We're going to talk about that.
He needs 20.
We're going to talk about that.
Because then we would say Nadal's the GOAT.
We're going to talk about that.
And he has 18, I think, right? Or 17, Justin.
Yeah, I got a whole 10 minutes written about just that topic.
And then Rahesh says, when Carla read my comment, and then you zoom to the rainbow, my God, what have you guys have amazing. For a moment, I forgot about tennis.
Appreciate that. And we showed a bird earlier in the part 1, so maybe you saw the bird.
I hope they can see us in the dark.
Let me see. Don't this.
Because we can put the lights on.
We're just going inside for part 3, because this is definitely going part 3. Yeah, they can see us. All right, because this is definitely going part 3.
Well, and then we got Mihailo Popov.
I feel like I'm off today. I don't feel like I'm delivering the way I should deliver.
That's all right. Because there's a lot of viewers that make comments. So we're listening to them and responding to them.
Yeah, come on, Justin, let's go.
So Milo Popov says, Nole must be a ballpark of GOAT. Better score than both Nadal and Federer. Golden Masters. True, less slams than both of them. But, come on, Australian Open still slammed. You can't make an argument for Nadal and his one-dimension Quaker as well as Novak Australian Open, right? Again, I answered this before. I made a big mistake. But no, he is not the GOAT.
I tell you what's amazing, if he did the double Golden Slam, which no one even did once, he would do twice. But again, it's a different animal. 3 of 5, 2 of 3, 1 week versus 2. It's a different animal. So.
Wayne Chia says, Fed genuinely likes Rafa, but he never really liked Nole. We can all agree to that.
The new person that came in with some heavy stuff today, Kane, is going to come up later, and he has some really magnificent stuff to say. I can't wait till we get to his stuff.
What time are we at?
We're at like 28 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to do part 3 inside in the room.
Okay, Weather Freak Channel says, you should have been in Trinidad and Tobago last night. We had a severe thunderstorm. Activity in Trinidad and Tobago will be very heavy rain and very loud thunder and bright lightning.
I love this guy. This guy has followed me amongst some hurricane and tropical storm videos and thunderstorm videos that we do off this back porch. And when it gets kind of weather intense, and he's in Trinidad and Tobago and has gone through many storms there and some recent earthquakes. He checks in for the weather, so hey, I hope you're well. It's Weather Channel.
And we got lightning.
We got lightning back there.
Yeah.
So great to hear from you. Good looking out, and I think he's becoming more and more fond of the game of tennis. So hey, much love and respect to you in Trinidad and Tobago, and stay ahead of the weather. All right.
Okay. AJ Malfoy says, I just want to say that Novak doesn't need 20 slams to be the GOAT. In my opinion, he just needs one more Roland Garros, and then he would have completed the double career Grand Slam, something Federer and Nadal have not done. Also, if Nadal gets to 20, but all of them Roland Garros titles, then Federer's still the GOAT, and Nadal's just the king of clay. His opinion? It's how, yeah, he's the king of clay, but it's the number of Grand Slams that you have. Doesn't matter how you get them.
To reiterate, when we roll into part 3, which now this is becoming common, I have a whole segment written.
I think what time are we at? Because
we're about this is going to be my last statement.
Because the next one's big.
On part 2, and the next one's big, and we want to get through that. But this conversation about how do you measure the greatest of all time, and it's spiraling into all these different categories. I want to put it into a context or a perspective where if we're all dead and gone, and we fast forward to our kids as grandchildren. and they look back in time to try to find out who the best players, what they're going to look at, and why maybe it matters to us as really an elusive group of tennis fans that kind of wake up and think about it and go to sleep and think about it. We dream about it at night. We want to do. Most people aren't like that. So I'm going to get into a whole segment about that coming up next. We are gonna finish the user comments. I'm sorry if this is going long, but again, we started doing this as a way of trying to overcome us never being able to hear sports radio that involved any type of tennis. And sports radio where we're from here comes on at 7 in the morning and it doesn't turn off till noon, so it's 5 hours and it's nonstop football or it's nonstop basketball. So I'm sorry it goes long, and I don't always mean for it to go long, but at the end of the day, we're trying to do in essence the same thing. And it's really a great time to do it, and I'm sorry it's going long, but your comments are really so very good. It's hard to not read them, and when we read them, we're like, wow, man, there's other people like us out there, and we enjoy reading them, so we're just sharing them back with you and giving those that write these an opportunity to be heard, because I think they're all absolutely splendid.
All right, well, let's
go.
We gotta go inside.
Part 3 coming up.
See you soon.
Like it, share it, subscribe. Carla has
Instagram, 5K Tennis, Twitter, 5K Tennis, email, 5ktennis@mail.com, Facebook, Justin, space, Carla, space, Davis, or 5K Tennis.
All right, young lady, we're gone. Part 3 coming up.